Attention passionate Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Buffalo Bills' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Let's get to the news all right. Bills Mafia, get ready because something huge might be brewing in the AFC East. And if it goes down, it could shake up the entire landscape of the division and give Buffalo a serious boost heading into the postseason. Rumors have been swirling, and the speculation is that the Bills are eyeing a blockbuster trade that could reshape their offense and make them even more dangerous in 2024 and beyond. The buzz is centered around none other than A.J. Brown, the star wide receiver from the Philadelphia Eagles, potentially heading north in a deal that could be a game-changer for Buffalo. Now, I know this sounds wild, but the sources are pointing toward real interest, and if it happens, it would be a move that sends shockwaves through the NFL. So what's the story? According to some credible reports, including insights from Jeremy Fowler, the Bills are seriously considering a trade that would send a second-round pick in the 2027 draft to the Eagles in exchange for A.J. Brown. That's right, a future second-rounder, which shows how much the Bills value adding a weapon like Brown. Why would Buffalo pull the trigger? Well, it's about offense, explosiveness, and that extra gear that could push the Bills over the top. The Bills have been solid, but missing that elite, game-changing receiver who can take the top off defenses and make clutch contested catches when it counts. A.J. Brown fits that mold perfectly. He's a towering vertical threat, a guy who can dominate in contested catch situations and turn short plays into big gains. His career stats are pretty eye-opening: 412 receptions for 850 yards and 48 touchdowns, with a yards per reception of 16.6. And his yards after catch? Over 450 yards, averaging 6 yards per yard after catching, which speaks to his ability to turn even small gains into big plays. His route running is precise, with a yards per route run of 2.5, which is considered elite. His catch rate is 59.4%, and his contested catch rate is around 59%, making him a reliable target in tight coverage. Plus, his separation stats are impressive, with an average depth of target, ADOT, of 12.6 yards, meaning he's comfortable stretching the field and winning at the line of scrimmage. This season, he's on pace for another stellar year: 92 catches for 380 yards and 11 touchdowns, and he's done all this without major injury concerns since 2024. The Eagles, on the other hand, are focusing on a different rebuild, especially on their running game. Their offensive scheme has been more run-centric lately, prioritizing the development of their RBs and trading away some of their receiving depth to build draft capital. They have a cap hit of around $15 million for Brown in 2025. But come 2026, they face a dead cap charge of nearly $48 million if they decide to part ways with him. The Eagles are also trying to reshape their roster, and trading Brown for a future pick makes sense from a cap and rebuild perspective, especially as they look to develop other areas. For Buffalo, adding Brown would mean a massive upgrade to their passing game. Think about how this could elevate the offense. Josh Allen already has a cannon arm and great mobility, but now he'd have a true alpha receiver who can line up outside or in the slot, making defenses pay for overcommitting. Brown's ability to win contested catches could be a huge asset in close games, especially in the red zone, where he's shown to be highly efficient. In fact, his red zone efficiency could be a game-changer for the Bills, who have sometimes struggled to finish drives in recent seasons. The numbers back up how impactful Brown could be. If you look at his career numbers and his recent production, he's a guy who can add over 200 yards annually and rack up double-digit touchdowns. His YAC, yards after catch, of 380 yards last season shows he's not just a deep threat, but also a yards after catch monster, which fits perfectly in Buffalo's fast-paced, high-powered offense. When you combine that with Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis, and the emerging talent of Kincaid, the Bills could form one of the most explosive aerial attacks in the league. And let's not forget, adding a player of Brown's caliber could also help open up lanes for the running game, forcing defenses to pick their poison. Now, talking about the impact on the division and the playoffs, a trade like this could seriously elevate the Bills' Super Bowl odds. Right now, odds are around plus 5,500, but with a proven receiver like Brown, those numbers could tighten to around plus 2,400, signaling that sportsbooks see Buffalo as a much more serious contender. The addition of a player who can be a true X-factor, especially in the red zone and under pressure, could be the difference maker in tight playoff games. Imagine Josh Allen connecting with Brown in clutch moments. That's a recipe for a deep playoff run. Of course, there are questions and concerns. The Eagles are in a transitional phase, and trading Brown for a future second-round pick might be a strategic move for them to focus on rebuilding their roster, especially their running game. They're also managing their cap space, and with nearly $48 million in dead cap in 2026 if they part ways, they're looking at a financial recalibration. For the Bills, acquiring Brown means making a significant investment, but if it pays off, it could be worth every penny. The Bills' front office has shown a willingness to make bold moves, and with their current cap situation allowing for some restructuring, like freeing up money by reworking Kincaid's deal and other contracts, they seem positioned to make a splash. Adding Brown would not only bolster their offense, but also send a message to the rest of the league that Buffalo is serious about contending for a Lombardi trophy. It's about stacking the deck, and having a true game-changer like Brown could be that missing piece. Looking at the bigger picture, this move would remind fans of the memorable 2020 season when Stefon Diggs arrived via trade, turbocharging the Bills' offense and propelling them to new heights. Brown's skill set is similar in many ways, a tall, reliable target who thrives in contested situations and can turn the tide of a game with a single catch. If the Bills can secure him, it's like adding another piece to their puzzle, one that could elevate the entire team and create nightmares for defenses trying to keep up. The Eagles, on their side, are recalibrating. They're prioritizing the rebuild of their running game, and trading away a premier receiver like Brown in exchange for draft capital makes sense from their perspective. They've seen how players like Tyreek Hill elevated the Dolphins' attack last year, and they're looking to do the same with their rebuild. But for Buffalo, this is a golden opportunity. They need a receiver who can not only stretch the field but also make clutch catches in critical moments. Brown is exactly that kind of player, and if the trade goes through, it could be a turning point for their Super Bowl aspirations. In conclusion, this potential deal is about much more than just acquiring a star receiver. It's about making a statement, about saying that the Bills are all in on their championship window. It's about giving Josh Allen a weapon that defenses can't match, and about giving the fans even more reason to believe this team can go all the way. The AFC East will never be the same if this trade happens. The Patriots, Dolphins, and Jets will have to prepare for a Bills team that's loaded with firepower and hungry for another Super Bowl appearance. And now, Buffalo Bills fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Buffalo Bills. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Buffalo Bills news.